Hi there. In this video, I will discuss a data sufficiency problem, and this is a continuation of my Decoding GMAT series, in which I essentially focus on specific problem types within the quant and verbal sections, and hopefully some of the tips that I give you can help you along the way. My name is Anand Venkatesan. I'm a founder and mentor at mentorscapital.com. As a platform, we help students with their study abroad dreams. We believe that our network of mentors can help you with every component of the admission journey, whether it's preparing for an exam like a GRE or a GMAT, or whether it's creating an impactful application for your dream university. All of those services are solved by us by using our network of mentors. Keep that in mind. Do reach out to us if you have any requirements. But for now, I'm going to discuss our agenda for the day, which is a data sufficiency problem. The problem I will discuss today is showing up on your screen. Feel free to pause the video here and try this question yourself. I will discuss the approach and the right answer in a few moments. Right. Let's get started then. The question itself should always begin by identifying the problem type, right? So any approach, any data sufficiency problem should first be flagged off with an identification of the problem type, right? You read the question here, it talks about the profits it made in 92, 93, and 94. There is a relationship between these profits. But at the end of the day, the problem asks me for the profit that the company earned in the year 1992, right? So that's a very specific question. It's a unique value-based problem. So I should furnish a unique answer, a singular answer. And that's the value of the profit. And I also know that this entire discussion is about the profit in these 3 years. So I can quickly sort of jot down some equations here, right? Since the profit in 1993 is 20% more than in 1992, I'll first assume P to be the profit in 1992. Then the profit in 1993 is going to be 20% more. And when something is 20% more, it's 120% of the previous value, right? So 120% of P, or 120 by 100, that's 1.2 P. This is the profit in 1993. I also know from the problem that the profit in 1994 is 10% more than the profit in 1993, right? So when there's a 10% increase, I'll say that makes it 110%. 110% of what? Of the previous value. So 110% of 1.2p. That's like 1.1 times 1.2p. And I can say that value can be noted down separately, right? So now I've analyzed the problem. I've made whatever equations I could, whatever variables I could form, whatever information I could collect. I've put that in a table. And I also have identified that it's a unique answer I'm looking for, which means the value of P. What information will help me with that? The next step is obviously to evaluate the first statement, right? Now, the first statement here says that the profit in 1994 was 10,000 more than that in 1993. So in a sense, that in 1993 is 110%, is $100,000 more than the profit in 1993. Using the values from the table, I could directly say 1.32p is $100,000 plus 1.2p, right? And if I solve this equation, I will definitely get the value of p, right? Now, remember, you don't need to calculate the value of p. All you need is to make sure that you get a single value. And it's obvious here that I will get a value of p that will be a unique one, right? This means this statement is sufficient, right? First statement suffices, right? I'm going to collect that. I'm going to keep that right on top here. I know information given in the first statement is sufficient, right? So I've made a note of that. Next up, I will start evaluating the second statement, right? Here, statement 2 says that for every $3 of profit earned in the year 1992, right, which means that if the profit in 1992 were $3, this means that the profit in 1994 would be 3.96, right? So it's a neat little analogy that I can use here to say that if this was the profit in 1992, this would be the subsequent profit in 1994. which should tell you that this information is actually about a ratio, right? It's not that the profits are $3 and 3.96. It's just that the ratio of 3 by 3.96 mirrors the ratio of profits earned in those 2 years, which from the table is clearly P and 1.32p respectively, right? So the moment I use that, I can see that the numerator and denominator both have P. So I can actually knock it off, right? And if I sort of simplify this, the LHS is 100 by 132, the RHS is 300 by 396, and a quick sort of simplification here, dividing it by 3 gives me the same fraction, right? 100 by 132. So this information literally is of no use to me, because all I can presume here is that I get a fraction which is 100 by 132, and that's the same in both sides, right? So I can't really solve and get the value of P, right? And since I cannot get the value of P, I will say that the second statement does not suffice, right? It's clearly not sufficient. And if I use that with the previous information, which is that the first statement suffices, but the second statement does not, I should immediately figure out that the correct answer here in this data sufficiency problem is that A suffices. 1 suffices, 2 doesn't, which means I should mark option A, right? It's a very, very simple problem. It's quite illustrative of the ideal approach you should take. And I hope this is clear to everybody watching this video. I'm going to take a quick minute and also tell you our belief in mentorship. We flagged this off at the beginning of today's video. But how do you make use of mentorship, right? Whether it comes to selection of an ideal college based on your profile, whether it comes to finding schools that have good scholarship options, both internal and external, and also researching whether jobs in the country, the location that you're applying to, whether jobs are plentiful, whether it's it's going to be easy to get a job, and so on and so forth. So all of these kind of questions, which should be troubling you if you're an international university aspirant, then mentorship is very, very critical for you, right? And how do we give you mentorship? Well, we layer it across 3 different services. Number 1 is to prepare for tests. Not just will we help you with the concepts in the test, but we'll also mentor you through the test taking process. Something which most people miss out is the fact that I should be writing somewhere between 5 and 10 tests. Well, I'd say make sure you write 10, but even if you can't, somewhere between 5 and 10 tests, and hopefully analyze those tests properly, right? So we help with that. Our mentors are also the perfect in a perfect position to give you information about how to craft impactful essays, what do adcons look for, and also about the scholarship application, also about tackling interviews and other video assessments, and not just that. In fact, even at an earlier stage, which is when you start to shortlist schools, right? And a lot of the things important to you might not be met, or might be better met in other universities, and somebody who's gone through the process and who's sort of entered the ecosystem that you wish to enter will probably know a lot more, and so these conversations can be really quite unique and revealing, right? I'm sure you have a lot more to ask. Feel free to write to us at the shown email ID, or better still, just drop me a WhatsApp text on the number shown on your screen. And that's not all. There's a surprise package, which is you can get access to free practice exercises in both data sufficiency and sentence correction. And so to access that, click on the link in the description, and make sure that you also subscribe to my channel so that you get all of these kind of interesting updates every now and then. Thank you. Have a good day and wish you all the very best.